CIA director is expected to meet soon with Israeli, Egyptian, and Qatari officials regarding a possible deal to release the remaining hostages in Gaza in exchange for a ceasefire. Meanwhile, the United Nations says Gaza has become a humanitarian crisis. Of course, amid this crisis, one group we don't hear enough about are Gaza's Christians, a tiny community of only about 1,000 people. These Christians are now in enormous peril, sheltering in churches as Israeli forces do their best to avoid harming them. We're joined now by Pastor William DEVLIN, a decorated Vietnam combat veteran and president of the faith-based organization Widows and Orphans. Pastor DEVLIN, thank you so much for joining us here on Centerpoint, and thank you for making the extra effort. I've learned that you just returned from Cuba.
Yes. Yeah. Joe, thank you and Centerpoint and TBN. And you're exactly right. These 1,000 Christians, 500 in the Greek Orthodox Church and 500 in the Catholic Church, are in enormous peril. And think about it. They've been there, men, women, and children. I know most all of them since I've been ministering in Gaza since 2010. Been there 33 times of all things. I was just there July 4th, 2023. And I would really call your Centerpoint viewers to pray for them. And right now, I am attempting to get food and water and medicine to them. Very difficult because it's an active war zone. And not only that, Joe, but also to evacuate some of them. And the only way we can get them out is through this southern border called the Rafah crossing. Very, very difficult because active warfare even there right now. You're seeing pictures of the Gaza Baptist Church. There are 3 churches in Gaza. Gaza Baptist Church, the St. Porphyrius Greek Orthodox Church, and the Latin Catholic Church, Holy Family Parish. No one's at the Gaza Baptist Church because that church has been, it's in rubble. And it's just discouraging to know that all of these 1,000 Christians that are left, Arab Christians, they all love Jesus Christ. They've been there since antiquity. When Philip the Evangelist went into Gaza, of course, your viewers know that he baptized the Ethiopian eunuch. And so Christians have been there predating Islam. And so I just appeal to your viewers that they would pray, they would pray, they would pray. And I do meet with Hamas when I go in there. I tell them what I'm doing. And most importantly, I also share the love of the Lord Jesus Christ with members of Hamas. So again, I've been there 33 times. It's a great joy to be with the Christians there. And I do what I call, Jill, the ministry of presence. It's not just enough to pray for the persecuted church there in Gaza, to send money, to fast, but also to go there. It's very easy. Well, formally, prior to October 7th, it was very easy to get into Gaza. Now there's a degree of impossibility. But I would ask your viewers to pray that there's a family, husband, wife, a 10-year-old girl, 7-year-old boy. And I've already raised about $40,000 to evacuate them and other Gazan Christians to get to places of safety.
Well, Pastor, under 2 minutes here, explain to us 2 things, the issues you're having with getting relief there, because like you mentioned, you recently raised tens of thousands of dollars getting that in to the Christians. And secondly, Pastor, what kind of issues are you having with Hamas? You said you've had run-ins with them. Describe those.
Yeah, well, it's just difficult because it's an active war zone. And I'm talking with the Israeli army every day via text. And they're obviously concerned that I would somehow interrupt with what they're doing. But I'm appealing to them in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ to be able to go in there and provide relief for the Christians there in those 2 churches. And as far as Hamas, as I said, my role with Hamas, if you could call it that, is to share the love of the Lord Jesus Christ. When you go into Gaza, you have to get permission. Even prior to the war, you have to get permission from the Israeli army, also the Palestinian Authority, and also Hamas. So I have to meet with Hamas every time I go in, and that's when I share the Lord Jesus Christ with them and say to them, members of Hamas, your only hope is the Lord Jesus Christ. So you can go to widowsandorphans.info and see what we're doing there.
Pastor William Devlin, we appreciate you joining us here on Centerpoint. We appreciate what you're doing with that ministry and organization. And of course, we appreciate what you've done and served for our great country. Thank you, sir.